Hi everyone, and welcome back for Chapter 10 of Theodore Boone, The Scandal by John Grisham. I'm going to jump right in. Chapter 10. Late Sunday afternoon, Theo was in his room, staring at his homework, bored, and thinking of something else to do. His phone beeped with a text from April. Theo, we need to talk. Now. Urgent. Meet me at Guff's. Such a message from her only meant trouble. Her home life was not stable and strange things happened there. He texted, "Okay, what is it?" "I'll tell you when I see you. Now." Theo hustled down the stairs and told his mother he was meeting April for a frozen yogurt. Predictably, she said, "Okay, but aren't you eating too much of that stuff?" His father, who was reading the Sunday news, piped in with, "It's just yogurt. Isn't that healthy?" "It's full of sugar, Woods, and I think Theo is eating too much of it." "I'll just have one scoop, okay?" Theo said, though he'd never just have one scoop, and wasn't about to cut back now. "Be home in time for dinner," she said. Sunday dinner was Theo's least favorite meal of the week, because his mother prepared it. "Sure, Mom, be back in an hour." As he left the house, he made a mental note that his mother had not specifically told him to have only one scoop. He had made the offer, though half-heartedly, and she had ignored it. Therefore, at least in his opinion, he was free to order as much as he wanted. A kid in Theo's shoes with two parents as lawyers had to stay on his toes. April was waiting in a rear booth, far away from anyone else. She had not ordered and seemed nervous. "What are you having?" Theo asked. "Nothing." "Okay, if you're having nothing, then I'm having nothing. And if we have nothing, they'll ask us to leave." "Okay, one scoop of lemon coconut." "That sounds awful." "Please." Theo ordered one scoop for her and his standard 2 scoops of chocolate covered with crushed Oreos. If only his mother could see him now. He paid for them and took them to the booth. April offered a polite thanks. "So what's up?" He asked. She ignored her dish and said, "I don't know where to start, Theo." She paused and thought for a second. She was not the least bit sad or frightened, as Theo was expecting. Instead, she seemed excited. "So last night my parents decided to go out for a fancy dinner because it's their anniversary. They never go out together, and I was happy for them. Happy until they told me that Janelle would be coming over to sit with me. I'm 13 years old, and they abandoned me all the time, so I couldn't understand why all of a sudden I needed a sitter. But I didn't want to ruin their big evening, and besides, Janelle is sort of an old friend. She's 18 years old, and she babysat a few times when I was younger. She lives down the street and is pretty cool. So Janelle came over, and we ordered a pizza and watched some old movies. She's a real chatterbox, and to be honest, it was a lot of fun, sort of like having a big sister. My big sister March left a long time ago, and I realized how much I miss her. Anyway, Janelle asked me about the testing at school, and I told her I didn't quite make honors. She didn't either when she was in the 8th grade, and says it's no big deal. But here's the dirt, Theo, and you have to swear you won't tell anyone." Theo had a mouthful and just nodded. When he swallowed, he said, "I swear." "I mean, Theo, this is a big deal, and things might get ugly." "Okay. And it might affect you and me too." "Okay. I mean, I couldn't believe it when she told me." "Are you going to take a bite?" "Later. Anyway, you gotta promise." "I've already promised. Now get on with it." "Okay." She glanced around suspiciously. Guff's was empty but for the two of them. The soda jerk was playing a game on her phone. April leaned in closer and said, "Here's the story. Janelle has an older sister. They call her Binky, and she teaches 8th grade math at East Middle School. She's been there a couple of years and says the school has a lot of problems. Well, Binky told Janelle that this year a group of teachers at the school actually got together and changed the scores after the tests were given. They met at the school on the Saturday after the test, the same day you were off hiking with the scouts, and they got in a room, locked the doors, and spent several hours erasing wrong answers and putting in the right ones." Theo was about to shovel in another load of frozen yogurt when his spoon froze halfway to his mouth. He placed it back in the dish and stared at her. "This is what she told me," April said. Binky stopped by the school that Saturday to get a pair of sunglasses from her room. She saw their cars in the parking lot, so she knew they were there. Later, one of the teachers that she knows well confided in her and told her the truth. Binky was shocked. This teacher feels rotten about what they did and is afraid they're going to get caught. They did it because the school is headed for probation, and the teachers could also get probation, or maybe worse, so they cheated Theo. The teachers think they're helping the kids by saving the school, and so on. Holy smoke, Theo managed to mumble. Can you believe it? No, I can't. This is crazy. Slowly, April took a bite, a small one. Theo was too stunned to eat. He said, "You know what this means, don't you?" "I think so." "Well, it could mean that you and I and possibly several others who came close to making honors got a raw deal because these teachers decided to cheat." That's what I thought. Who else knows about this? I have no idea, but it must be a pretty big secret. How many teachers are involved? 5 or 6. That's crazy. You never commit a crime with that many people involved. Somebody's bound to talk. A crime? Is this against the law? Theo paused and took a bite. He thought about this for a few seconds and said, "I don't know. I'm sure it could get them fired, but not so sure it's actually breaking the law. I'll have to do some research when I get back to the office." "You sound like a real lawyer." "I meant to. That's how I impress girls." "Okay then, if you're so smart, tell me what we're going to do about this." "Who said we have to do anything? If we complain to someone, we look like sore losers. It seems to me that this is a perfect example of something a couple of nosy kids should stay away from." "Nonsense, Theo. Look, I know you, and I know deep down inside you wanted to make honors. You just won't admit it. At least I'm honest. I wanted it badly, and I'm really frustrated that I was not in the top 10%. Both of us missed it by 1 point. Now we find out there's a real good chance that some of the kids who did make it got their scores improved by their teachers. We can't just sit by and do nothing." "What do you have in mind?" "That's where you come in, Mr. Lawyer. What if you told your parents?" "Why don't you tell your parents?" "Seriously, Theo? My parents are crazy. You know that. They don't care what kind of classes I take or what grades I make." "Must be nice." "Well, it's not, believe me. I think you should tell your parents." "They'd tell me to butt out." "No, they wouldn't, Theo. Your parents are lawyers who understand right from wrong, and they get ticked off when the wrong person wins. Your mother especially. She never backs down from a good fight." "I don't know. I still think it would sound like we're just a couple of sore losers, and we don't know for sure that this story is true." "No, we don't. So explain to me why Binky would make up such a crazy story and tell her sister." "I can't explain that." "No, you can't, and that's because the story is true. Look at what we do know for a fact, that East Middle School had a dramatic rise in its scores for 8th graders. In fact, Janelle said that in all their years of testing, no school has seen such a big jump. Sounds pretty suspicious, right?" "Yes, it does, I admit." "Thank you. So are you going to tell your mother?" "Look, April, this is a lot to swallow all at once. Give me some time. Let's sleep on it and have a chat tomorrow. Okay?" "Okay." Theo finished his yogurt. April didn't like hers, so he finished it too. He'd never heard of lemon coconut, but it wasn't that bad. When both dishes were empty, they left Guff's on their bikes. As Theo pedaled home, he was still trying to convince himself Binky's story was true. 8th grade teachers changing test answers? After dinner, and while he was once again doodling with his homework, he did an online search into standardized tests. It didn't take long to find the ugly truth. In the past 10 years, in at least 4 school districts across the country, teachers had been caught doing the same things Binky had described to Janelle. Unbelievable. That's it for Chapter 10. Tune in tomorrow for Chapter 11. Thanks for joining.